Hello everyone, and welcome to another Bass Singer Reaction, and this second rendition, second episode of these Halloween specials. And today, I'm very, very excited. A big plus of growing a following is that you get to introduce the audience to creators that you find particularly talented that really aren't getting enough credit. This is one of those guys. My boy Marwan Ayman is an Egyptian high schooler, believe it or not. And he is super talented as a singer, as an audio engineer, as a video editor. He's a member of the Bass Gang, and I'm so glad that I have a good opportunity to expose him to all of you guys. You will never subscribe to someone so fast. After you watch this video, go check out all his stuff. He's just phenomenal. And this is his cover of Spooky, Scary Skeletons. I actually just watched the original because I wanted to check it out and see what he did comparatively. It's a very fun song. I guess it's from kind of old school Disney. It's animated with skeletons, and it would have been at the time when the way they recorded that kind of music was they would actually have a live orchestra with a conductor following with a screen behind them. So the conductor's watching the movie play, the film play, and then he's conducting the orchestra in time to line up with the movie, and it's recorded that way. That's how they did Tom and Jerry, for example. Crazy how they did it. Now it's all like samples, and it's like a totally different art form. But this is Marwan's cover of Spooky Scary Skeletons. Go check out the original. It's a lot of fun. And go check out this guy's channel. You will not be disappointed. He did the Bass Gang Copycat, which was just an incredible arrangement and audio production and video production. Mega talented. Hard to believe, really hard to believe he's finishing up high school now. I mean, I didn't have an ounce of that talent back in high school. So here we go. Let's go ahead and dive in for episode number 2 of these Halloween specials.
So
before we even go on, this is in B minor, so he's hitting B1s. They're on the bottom. Nice. I did not probably ever sing a B1 in high school. I think C2 was probably as low as I ever got on my lowest mornings. So already got me beat there, and that will only continue. And this was made like a year ago, mind you. It was something I like that we have a bit of contrast here. Is that he's got a nice smooth doom doo doom. He's got this like kind of a lounge doom doo doom like bass line going, but he's also got in the high parts this. I have no idea what the notes are. And if you watch the original, this is how they kind of characterize the funny movements of like the skeletons and all their bones like flying around while they're dancing. And so I really like how Marwan took that and put it in his voice. So we've got this nice contrast of this like low lounge-like bass line and this like very fluttery, fun high voice part. And now he's about to jump in with this solo.
Spooky, scary skeletons send shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight.
So something people ask, they've asked in comments, they've asked me, is Marwan a bass? Is he a bass baritone? First of all, let me bury the hatchet here. Bass baritone voice type is really only for opera. It's a Fach, F-A-C-H in the German Fach system for categorizing very specific voice parts. And bass baritone is only really supposed to be used in opera. Marwan is a bass. And people ask because, compared to the other guys in the Bass Gang, his voice is lighter sounding. It's because he's younger. It's because he's I think 4 years younger than the next youngest guy, which is either Bobby or Tommy, and I'm a grandpa compared to all of them. So his voice is lighter, but he's got the range and he's got the ease of those low notes. To my ear, it's very easy to tell that he is already a bass, and all of that will really fill out. The color will darken, the range will continue to expand on the bottom, and it will be no question in probably just a few years. But for people wondering about his voice type, he is a bass. He also has good high chest range, but Marwan Ayman is a bass. You heard it here first. Now on to verse 2.
Will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek.
Something I like he did there, most of the bass line is on doom, 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 but he did like a din. He changed it up to a din, and then he hit that B down here and held it on that in. Similar to what Jeff did at the very end of House of the Rising Sun, where he hits the vowel, closes it off, and keeps singing that low G sharp. Marwan kind of does that too, with this B natural on that din vowel that he chose. Something also, so this arrangement, it follows the original quite closely. It's repetitive, right? So what Marwan is so good at, and why it's helpful that he's such a good video editor, is if the music is staying rather stagnant, he has a fully planned out arrangement, storyboarding and everything. That's how he made Copycat. It's how he makes his videos look so good and planned and organized. So if nothing is really changing musically, then he will make sure to keep things really interesting with the video editing. So that's a big plus. So it's not, I mean, he's way past the days of just singing in squares, not moving. I have recently graduated from those days as well, and I like my most recent video is just like a very basic version of what Marwan's doing here. Hats off again. Great, just an all-around great producer of this kind of content.
In surprise when you hear these zombies shriek. We're so sorry, skeletons, you're so misunderstood. You only want to socialize, but I don't think we should. Oh no, 'cause spooky, scary skeletons shout startling shrieks.
I just love that transition. So a few things here. First of all, what you're hearing harmonically, the first bit of the song is all B minor, and then in this you clearly hear it change to major. And what it does is it goes from B minor to the relative major, which is D major. It's the same notes, same exact notes. Basically, just if you start the scale on B and go up, it's B minor. If you start in a B minor scale on the third scale degree, a D, and go up from there in the B minor scale, it's D major. So he just went from B minor to D major. And you heard that change from like this kind of dark, spooky thing. I mean, it's always fun. It's fun, of course, but dark and spooky to like positive. And if you're listening to the text, it's kind of funny. It's like the first part's like these skeletons are what they'll do, spooky, scary skeletons. And then this like middle section here is all like, they just want to like come out and dance. They're not bad. They're not bad people. They're just like hanging out. So it's funny, and I like that the original did that. It's just like a funny thing. But that was what was happening harmonically. And then what he does is he completely obviously changes his makeup to look like a skeleton face, but he also adds in perk, heavy perk, which is not the original, and gives it like a kind of like dubstep feel. It's like, so it's got this like, it's this like big like, kick snare pattern. Yeah, pretty close to dubstep tempo. A little under. So I just love that he completely flips it on its head. So he gets it. He's like, it's a short piece, it's fun, but it also is repetitive. I'm gonna do something with this arrangement and with this video, and those two elements are gonna come together and turn it into like a totally new cover as we finish out the second half. So it's super awesome. We're gonna listen to that because I love. I produced electronic music for a while. Dubstep was my main thing. I am an absolute sucker for any music that like drops, like the bass drops. That to me is awesome. If you can really pull that off in an acapella cover, hats off to you. And Marwan does it here.
To socialize, but I don't think we should. Oh no, 'cause spooky, scary skeletons shall startling shrilly scream. They'll sneak from their sarcophagus and just won't leave you be. Scary skeletons, gonna spooky, scary skeletons, gonna spooky, scary skeletons, gonna save you.
So he's doing spooky. Okay, G2, F sharp, B1 chest. And then he has one way up here. And then you hear him also doing in chest G4, G4, F sharp 4, B3. Listen to that. So he's doing this low, he's doing the low bass, right? An octave below the original. Then he's doing original octave, and then he's adding another octave, all in chest on top of that. So listen to this here.
Just won't leave you be.
Told you this kid has range. The man's got range.
Spirit supernatural, or shy what saw the fuzz. But bags of bones seem so unsafe. It's semi-serious. Go low. Spooky, scary skeletons are
F sharp 1 sub. Beautiful. Let's listen to that again, because we love an F sharp 1 sub. He's doing what you got to do. If you're doing a low note, you got to have the chin down, so people know which guy here is doing the low note, right? It's clear. It's right in the middle, chin down, ooh, F sharp 1. Let them hear it.
But bags of bones seem so unsafe. It's semi-serious. Go low. Spooky, scary skeletons are silly all the same. Their smile and scrabbles slowly by and drive you so insane. Sticks and stones will break your bones. They seldom let you snooze. Spooky, scary skeletons will wake you up.
Incredible. So at the end, so there's that graveyard funeral theme. Someone in the comments, I don't know where that theme comes from actually. Someone do some research, find out where that theme comes from. So he's doing that. I actually, when I first heard this, and until I watched the original, I wondered if that was kind of like a mashup that Marwan had created. That was actually in the original, which is cool. So hats off to the original writers. Disney's got crazy good musical writers, obviously. I'm going to do probably a whole Disney series at some point. And then I also like how it's like all the skeletons are out to play. I don't think anywhere, let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here, he pulls out all the stops. We got 13, I think. Yeah, 13 skeletons hanging out, which means he took at least 13 videos. If it was anything like Copycat, it was probably more like 50 or 60. And then he just edited them in short chunks how he saw fit. But I like that. So we got the grave theme at the end. We got all the skeletons out to play. And of course, we finish with a nice evil laugh. And I think B1 chest and sub at the same time. I don't think it was a B0 sub. I'm sure he'll be quick to correct me if he did a B0 sub, but he recently did a B0 sub for a certain project that's coming up with a certain group of 4 bass singers. for Halloween. And that's all I'll say about that. And Marwan will be the mastermind behind the audio and the video for that. He's taking it head on. When this video drops, second week of October is the plan. We will probably just be going into shooting video, probably almost done shooting video at that point. And that'll drop later. We'll give you exact dates when that comes up. But guys, this is Spooky Scary Skeletons by a good friend of mine at this point, a collaborator, truly one of the top up-and-coming talents in the acapella world. And if you guys aren't hip, go subscribe right now, and you will not regret it. You'll get more content like this, and he's covered a bunch of different genres. One of my favorites is his Jingle Bell Rock and like 8 different styles of music. I mean, you talk about someone who's super musical and creative. Go watch that Jingle Bell Rock. Plus, we're like only like what, couple months away from being able to start thinking about Christmas. So go check that out. Go check out Marwan. Marwan, congrats to you. Such a good, fun arrangement. I'm so glad I can bring some traffic to your channel because you deserve it, man. You totally deserve it. So guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week for episode 3 of Bass Singer Reactions Halloween style. See you then.